Hey, what's up?
Hey, everyone.
Go. The funny thing is that you said that. I could hear you, but because there was the delay when I stopped, you hadn't even started yet. You know? Hi, everyone. Welcome to our channel. We're offended. You're offended. I'm Kim.
And I'm Tyler.
He sure is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to listen to what we have to say. And, yeah, let's start the shit.
Okay, so I guess everyone, before we get started, check us out. We are on Rumble, which actually pays money as opposed to YouTube. You can check us out on Anchor, Spotify. We have a shitty Facebook group. You can PayPal us if you want to see what? My penis?
No.
Come on, it's freaking 45 seconds into the you can't say dirty words.
I didn't. I was just motioning to you to remember Instagram.
Oh, right, Instagram.
Like, share, give us thumbs up. Comment.
Yes, so all right, let's with the formalities out of the way, let's get into this. So there have been a couple things with this SNC Lavalin, which is an engineering firm out of Quebec. So we got a couple things. So they're actually dealing with I'm sure everyone knows about the SNC Lavalin scandal that Justin Trudeau was seen to be directly a part of. So from the first article, which came from Global News, so a former executive from SNC is charged with fraud in an alleged bribery case. So one part I did want to bring up, a highlighted part was, so the charges date back to events that took place between 1997 and 2004. Michael Fournier, I've had a couple Fourniers in my day.
Oh, geez.
Michael Fournier, former president and CEO of the Federal Bridge Corporation, admitted to receiving bribes from SNC Lavalin worth $2.23 million related to a $128 million Jacques Cartier bridge repair project. Fournier was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison in 2017. Thought that was quite interesting considering some of the other stuff that they've been up to. So we do have a couple parts. Like, this whole thing is basically going to be about SNC and how they're just basically scumbag, fucking corrupt, and and how our political system is being corrupted by them.
Tell me how you really feel about them.
Oh, I'm going to.
Excellent.
So I guess regarding the latest thing from Global News.
You could only see the look I just gave him was kind of a, what the fuck? He's broken.
So on August 14th, Ethics Commissioner Mario Dion, sorry, not Mark Dion, I don't know where that came from, released a report into the SNC Lavalin affair, the political scandal that has led to the ouster of two cabinet ministers, the resignation of one of the prime minister's key aides, and opposition calls for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to step down. Which is funny because, well, we just had our election, and apparently they can't muster up any fucking support. What?
Sorry, you just brought up the fact that we had the elections, and I know we did like the post-election, and it's still just like you say it, and I'm just like, for fuck's sakes, Canada, again, really? You had to vote him in again, huh? What a waste of fucking money.
Oh, $600 million.
It's just pocket change, no big.
So, Justin Trudeau through the SNC Lavalin thing was saying over and over that, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I never did anything. But so Justin Trudeau had repeatedly denied any inappropriate actions on his part on senior figures in his administration. But Dion found that the Prime Minister had directly and through his senior official used various means to exert influence, and including with Wilson-Raybould, those actions, said Dion, violated Section 9 of the Conflict of Interest Act. So over and over, he said, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't do that. But so we have a couple other scandals that SNC was directly involved in. So the latest one, I think anyone that's paying attention to this stuff has been made fully aware that, Justin Trudeau put pressure on Jody Wilson-Raybould to not investigate it and actually looking into what was it called? Deferral of judgment, I believe it was called, or it could be something else. But so anyways, so they were looking at trying to do something where they basically wouldn't really be held accountable for it. But so there's that one. So then we have politicians that were actually being politicians were being bribed in order for for these lucrative contracts. So for those that don't know, our taxpayer money goes to fund this type of stuff. So this is normally like a public-private partnership, the PPP.
I'm going to PPP all over it right away.
Excuse me for a minute. I must grab all this low-hanging fruit. But so, let's look at another article that was pulled up from the National Post. So if you want to take a look at that one, from the National Post. So they were bribing Libya. They paid $48 million in bribes to Libyan government officials and defrauding the Libyan government and other entities of property, money, or valuable security or service worth $130 million.
I just unmuted myself because I was going to say something, but I was like speechless there. Nothing came out.
Yeah. So again, over and over, this company has either defrauded, and you know what? Okay, everyone is, says about the Libya thing and Muammar Gaddafi. It seems kind of like let me just throw out this scenario. Let's say I'm a big superpower. Maybe like an empire that has been kind of running things ever since like the First or Second World War. Let's say hypothetically that we were in control of the way that money or that oil is shipped or traded. So, let's say I exert my influence on other countries and I say, you know what? If you want to trade oil on a different currency, that ain't going to happen. So this certain, let's say this hypothetical superpower says, well, this little country is trying to subvert our dominance in the oil market. Yeah, it's a swinging. So we just we hung a total side note. So we hung up a bunch of decor. Like it's Halloween. It's Halloween. Come on now. Well, it's not Halloween. It's a month away from Halloween, but we always do like a month in advance. And so on our fan, I hung up like a paper lantern, and it's swinging like a stripper on a pole. It's just woo.
It 100% is.
It's a swing.
That pumpkin is just loving it.
That pumpkin is trying to put its way through college.
Doing a good job. It's the dollar bills.
Yeah. Give me another 20. But so let's say this hypothetical government says, because you're trying to do that, well, we're going to maybe say some things about this certain country, like I don't know, let's say, this is all hypothetical, by the way. This didn't really happen. But let's say that we start spreading rumors that this so-called country was maybe doing terrible things to its people. Let's just another hypothetical. Okay, let's stop with the hypotheticals.
Does it rhyme with mina?
Mina? No, it was the U.S.
Oh.
The U.S. is basically in control of anything that has to do with oil. It's on the U.S. currency. So Gaddafi and Libya were trying to get off the American dollar and trade themselves. A couple stories ended up coming out that Muammar Gaddafi was gassing his own people and doing all this crazy shit to them. Barack Obama was saying that, and he said, our hard line in the sand is if you gas them. Well, son of a bitch, guess what the guy did? He gassed them. He gassed his own people.
What do you mean by gassed them?
Like using chemical weapons.
Like legit gassed them. Because you're saying this, and I'm thinking like, gas chambers, like killing people with gas.
No, chemical weapons. But that's what they were saying. Mute yourself. But so that's what they were saying.
Give me a second, will ya?
Nope. But so Barack Obama was saying, if you start gassing your own people, like that is our hard line in the sand, and we will invade your country. So weirdly enough, Gaddafi was saying, oh, you know what? I am going to do that. You know what, Barack Obama? I like that. I wasn't thinking of it, but now that you said it, I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't. But you said gas the people. I was like, fuck. Well,
that's what I'm going to do. So smart.
Yeah. It wasn't even a tickle in the old brain. And I thought, fuck, you know what? I should gas them. But so Barack Obama says, you know what? If you do that, we're going to invade you. Well, like I said, son of a bitch, he does. So, oddly enough, Muammar Gaddafi, the whole fall of Libya and all this stuff. Okay, maybe he's a bad guy, but now that Libya is considered a failed state, it's in complete ruins. Similar to like Syria, maybe some of those other Middle Eastern countries that the U.S. and a couple of our allies decide to get involved in peacekeeping missions. But so SNC bribed the Libyan government for $48 million. The corporation itself was charged by the RCMP in February of 2015. Son of a bitch, this sounds like just the cost of doing business. But the charges from... But the charges stem from shady dealings involving a number of SNC employees years prior, particularly one Rayed Ben Ais... I don't know, sorry, man. An old acquaintance of Gaddafi's son, Sadi. My dear friend, make sure that this project will be ours. An RCMP search warrant document revealed Ben Aisi, then vice president of SNC, was paying tens of millions in bribes to Gaddafi's son in charge of lucrative contracts on the company would land in Libya. So they were bribing the fuck out of this place, out of these people. Okay? So here we got another one for you. This is from Indian Express. SNC Lavalin case explained how Kerala CM Vijayan came to be prosecuted and discharged. So there's one particular quote. They were fixed price deals for a supply of equipment and engineering services for the renovation of projects at a cost of, and I'm converting this, in 1997 was $1,991,000,000. To convert that to today's money, almost $3.03 billion that they shortchanged this, or they were bribing the government in Kerala. All right, say something. I laid out the groundwork. Or do you want me to keep going? Fine, I'll keep going. Fuck you. So this the Corolla was actually for SNC Lavalin to update a lot of their infrastructure, a lot of their electrical systems. And they said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to do this. And apparently the prime minister or the president, I'm not sure if it's prime minister or president. I'm not sure. I can't remember which one, but don't matter. One of the leaders in this, well, I guess Corolla is like it's like a sub country within India. So it's like a country with, I don't know, it's fucking weird. But so SNC said that they were going to upgrade a lot of this equipment and a lot of their infrastructure, and turns out they did, but not to the standard that it was supposed to be, and they sold them a lot of faulty and broken equipment, just trying to do shit on the cheap. So this is the type of company Justin Trudeau went out of his way to protect. He went out of his way. It wasn't like hey, this is a good Canadian company. And actually, speaking of, Trudeau said almost those words exactly. That the reason he was getting involved in this, after he said, "Oh, well, I wasn't involved in this. I didn't do anything in this." And then Mario Dion said, "Actually, fucko, you had direct ties to this. You were working on that. You were purposely blocking this. Like, yeah, you had direct involvement in it." I'm drinking a sip of my beer. Say something. Okay, so anyway.
Every time I like unmute myself to start saying something, it's like, okay, fuck you then.
And now fuck you.
Now fuck you. I don't even understand. Like I don't understand why he would be trying to protect a company that, but okay, they shortchanged people, right? Like billions of dollars.
No, they were greasing the wheels so that they would get contracts that would actually make them a lot of money. So what's $2 million on a $128 million project? What's $2 million bucks? Nothing. It's 0.2% of your contract.
Like when you say shortchanging, do you mean like keeping like, oh, look, there's $122 million. I'm just going to put $2 million in my pocket.
No, but so they might go to a government. So if I had a project, well, you know what? Here, let's say I am the king of Nippolopolis, and you come to me. You come to me, and Tyler is a great leader of Nippolopolis. I think we could have a great relationship together, and I would like to upgrade your infrastructure. I said, okay, thanks, Dick Corp. I don't know. What do you call your company?
Gene Machine.
Okay. The Vagine Corp. Vagine Machine Corp.
Fuck yeah.
And I said, okay, well, make a proposal or make a proposal and we'll look things over. And you say, hey, Nippolopolis, how about this? I pay you $2 million. And from that $2 million, we, the Gene Machine Corp, will get the contract. So, we'll still propose it here. We'll still make a proposal and everything else. But as an incentive, hey, you know what? We'll help you out if you help us out. And you know what? We get. I'm sure they said something like, hey, you know what? We get Canadians employed. It's a good Quebec business, and this is our type of thing. And so so I get a bit of a cut, and you guys, you get the work. Virtually shutting out every other business that would decide to do it.
So then, in turn, I would be kind of bribing you to pick me.
Exactly.
Ding, 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 ding. And she gets it, guys.
So Justin Trudeau was directly saying, oh, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. While Mario Dion said, nay, you actually had direct involvement. And so I'll reiterate it again. Trudeau has repeatedly denied any inappropriate actions on his part or senior figures in his administration. But Dion found that the Prime Minister had, end quotes, directly and through his senior officials used various means to exert influence over Judy Wilson-Raybould. Those actions, said Dion, violated Section 9 of the Conflict of Interest Act.
So then, with your whole Vagine Nippolitis thing, Nippolopoulos, or whatever the fuck it was, so in this story, he's the Vagine, bribing Nippolopoulos.
I am blackface in charge. So you would be the company. You would be SNC saying, hey, we'll give you money if you ensure that we get this contract.
Sketchy.
It's bribery. It's corruption. It's corruption. Like, everyone seems to poke at, like, the US. Oh, it's like, oh, there's so much money in politics and all this type of stuff. So you what? What?
Canada? What the fuck? Why? Are we voting this guy back in again? Why? Like, I mean...
Well, there's been multiple times, so... Fuck. I think a child just died. But there's been time after time of scandal after scandal that he's been either directly or indirectly involved in. And this is just one of. So this is kind of a look at SNC in Canada and the bribing that they've done, and SNC abroad, what they've done. So this isn't the first time. So they were bribing, like I said, the Federal Bridge Corporation. And then the SNC Lavalin scandal that Justin Trudeau was involved in. I'll see if I could find. So I'll see, because this one had. Okay, so
is there with this whole SNC thing? Like, is there still? I'm assuming, because we're talking about it, like, there's still stuff. Like, it's still in progress. Like, they're still looking into this stuff and trying to go after him type thing for it.
What?
I don't know. People, like, are they still trying to go after Trudeau for this? Or is it people just being like, yo, this is what your piece of shit's doing? We're like, oh, okay. That's neat.
No, these are now executives that are being held. So I guess this company was actually, Justin Trudeau was pushing for a deferred prosecution agreement. So a deferred prosecution agreement. Thank you, Google, for listening to me. Is a voluntary agreement negotiated between an accused and the responsible prosecution authority. Under the... Yeah. Okay. So... corporate crime is subject to criminal prosecution, given complex corporate structures and increasingly sophisticated ways of channeling funds and hiding illegal conduct. Corporate crimes are often challenging to identify, blah, blah, blah. So a DPA is a voluntary agreement negotiated between an accused, which would be SNC, and the responsible prosecution authority, which would be what was Raybould's position? Attorney General? I believe it would be, I think she was Attorney General. So, oh shit. So, frick. Hold on, I lost my spot. I'm sorry. Okay, between an accused, which would be SNC, and the responsible prosecution authority, which would be the, fuck did I just say? Minister of Dealing Out Justice. The criminal prosecution is suspended from a set period of time. During that time, so the criminal prosecution is suspended. So let's just say the Canadian government would say, okay, we're not going to look at facing charges. During that time, the accused, SNC, must comply with the terms of the agreement. If the accused complies, the charges are withdrawn. So the government might say, hey, you can't be corrupt. Stop doing corrupt shit, and you won't be charged for this. So then SNC says, okay, yeah, no, for a set period of time, maybe it's like for 5 years or whatever. They might say, hey, you keep your dick out of the honey jar, and we'll be fine. You can continue, screwing over other countries at will. So Justin Trudeau was trying to force Wilson Raybould to force this. And she was saying, no, I'm not going to, which he then says, oh, well, how weird. You're getting demoted, bitch. Hey, remember that, BIPOC, first female, blah, blah, blah. Justin Trudeau, feminist, ally, and devout Muslim. And yeah. So the first time. The scary thing that I don't think people really understand is evil isn't like Dr. Evil and he has an underground evil layer and all this type of shit. Evil is typically out in the open. It's hiding in a cloak of being nice.
Plain sight.
Yeah. So, he was saying, "Oh, I'm a feminist and this needs to be a she covery." He's saying all these.
What the fuck did you just say?
So we're having a recession, and he says it should be a she covery, as in women are disproportionately being affected. Yeah.
I unmuted because I'm assuming y'all can see the face I'm making right now, but you can't. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Sometimes I try really hard. I'm sorry, guys. I try really hard not to overswear. I really do have a trucker's mouth, which is funny because I think I swear more than my trucker husband. But I really do try not to, especially when we're doing this. But then you just say dumb shit like that. And I can't even what? I mean, I can't even.
Well, but this is a type of person, he's very long-winded in his answers. He can never give a straight, the last thing that he probably said that was straight. I can't say that. That's derogatory. So, yeah. So anyways. So, this just speaks to the bigger problem. Like I said, everyone always harps on the US about, there's lobbying groups and there's so much corruption and look at all this stuff. But you just let it keep going. So there's no incentive to stop. It's just, Justin Trudeau. And you know what? I'm sorry. Everyone gets pissed off about the blackface thing. I don't. I don't. Hold on.
That came through.
Oh my god.
And for anybody who obviously is not here, you should have heard it loud and clear like I just did. Because what you heard was minuscule to the sound it really was. Just think about it. If his microphone just picked that up and he moved 2 feet away from it, yeah, it was that loud.
Oh fuck! I'm sorry.
I love you.
But so, what the hell was I saying?
Okay, so I'm going to agree with you on that. The whole, him painting his face and stuff like that. I'm really sorry, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of people out there that are going to be like, whatever. He wasn't doing it as a racist thing. He wasn't doing it as a derogatory thing. And I mean, honestly, in this day and age when literally people can't have freaking braids in their hair or wearing big hoop earrings without it being some sort of cultural appropriation, do you not just think that maybe somebody sees something from, another culture and thinks, wow, that's beautiful. I would love to be able to do that too. It's not anything insulting. If anything, it should be like a compliment. Like somebody really likes something from your culture that they want to bring it into their culture or their everyday life. Like, I don't understand why people have to get so bloody offended about everything.
So, as the expression goes, is imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yes. Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there. Okay, brown face, go.
Okay, but so for me, like, we used to dress up as like Mr. T. You would dress up as like Evander Holyfield. These famous people, and you're imitating those people. I'm sorry, you're not doing the where you'd paint them black and you'd have big white lips. Like, like how, maybe a certain Walt Disney Corporation seemed to depict black people. That was considered derogatory because they actually treated them as though they were less. And for anyone that doesn't know, Walt Disney was a big xenophobe, and he actually was super racist. He hated anyone that wasn't Caucasian. So think of that when next time you're watching your Walt Disney movies, and now the trajectory that they've decided to go down with, changing everything being about, Okay, so I'll go off on a tangent here. What I find really disingenuous, and it almost feels not just disingenuous, but actually feels like you're doing a disservice. So if you're from a culture and someone says, "Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take Spider-Man, someone that was predominantly Caucasian, and we're just gonna paint over him. We're just gonna rebrand him as a black guy." Doesn't that sound super, like, I don't know, I would guess disingenuous, or it's almost like you can't even come up with an original idea. So let's just take, we got Spider-Man. Fuck Peter Parker. She's a white guy. Who likes white guys? Everyone hates white guys. It's all about the minority train. Whoop, whoop. So instead of coming up with a new idea, and you know what, I'll say like the Ghostbusters thing. It had nothing to do that it was women, but it has more to do with your original, like you're setting up a story, you're telling a story. Everyone loves good stories, and I know I went on this rant before, so you know what, I'm going to go on a bit of it again. We're all, if you're reading a book, and then all of a sudden it goes from, I don't know, let's say like Anne Rice, like, Interview with a Vampire, and when you're describing it in your head, you're not thinking, oh, this is, well, maybe there are some things that give a tell, like, oh, this is a white person. But typically a story gives the freedom for your imagination to immerse you, that you are the character in it. So whatever your appearance is, you're embodying that character. Even though, like, they might say, I don't know, I can't think of the vampire's name in it, but you're embodying that character. Like, so like a good book, like books that I actually really enjoyed and I've listened to a few times, were a couple of the Warhammer books. And so initially they'll give like a description of a character, but then after that you kind of, okay, well, I got a bit of an idea, but say the person that's actually telling the story, I picture me there. I don't picture some, really, well, for anyone that knows like Warhammer stuff, it's like the Space Marines are genetically modified freaks. Like, they are literally like considered weapons of war. But so it'd be weird for them to say, oh, this character that was, whatever you thought it was inside, oh, well, no, that's a black guy now, but that's a woman now. It's like, well, what do you mean? It was a dude before. And for anyone that gets like the Star Wars thing, they had Luke Skywalker. They literally killed off Luke Skywalker and had a woman take his place. Does that not seem very like slapstick? Not slapstick, but just like such. You couldn't even come up like having an incredible character. And I'll bring this up again. The Last of Us was a story about a girl, and it was an amazing story. Now, The Last of Us 2 it got a little, a little SJWE for me, but I don't know. I don't think people are actually get like that invested in it. Like in terms of, say, like Ghostbusters. You're setting up a story, these four guys that go and fight ghosts. And then on the flip side, the new one, it's a bunch of women that their first joke is about queefs. That's the first joke, is about farting out of your pussy. Like, I would even find that funny if a guy said, "Oh, I farted and I shit my pants." Like, well,
neat.
yeah. Like,
so on your tangent about this, so I completely agree with that. Like, it's like honestly taking something like the A-Team and taking Mr. T and deciding to all of a sudden put what the hell's his name? The Stone Cold or whatever. I know that he doesn't really go in movies anymore. Jason Statham. We're going to put him as Mr. T now. Like, I'm pretty sure people would be like, yo. Mr. T was a black dude. Like, why are you putting a white guy in there? Like, this is his character. He's a black guy. He's not some white guy with a freaking British accent. You know what I mean? Like, that is a good point. Like, you're literally just taking other characters who were already created and you already have this like vision of them, and now you're either painting them with a different color or a different gender or whatever because, well, people are trying to appease everybody and, women can do this and, this person doesn't need to be white. It can be any color. 100%. It could have been any color. It doesn't really matter the color that the person is. However, when the character was originally created, this is the character that was created. So now painting Mr. T to a white guy, that doesn't seem right. No, Mr. T was a big black guy. He was freaking awesome. Stay in school, foo. That was like on our walls at school. Like, it was awesome. But I wouldn't even be interested in watching some white guy playing Mr. T. I'd be like, no, that ain't him. Like, come up with original ideas. Like, you shouldn't have to just paint a character that's already been created and done with just another color. Why can't you have a whole new character for this person? Why just throw them into something that's already been there? It seems ridiculous to me.
Well, but so, this is only one aspect. And, during the, was it 2019 election, that is basically all Andrew Scheer pushed on. Well, you were wearing blackface. You were wearing blackface. Why are you wearing blackface? You were wearing blackface again. Oh, look, you're wearing blackface again. How many times are you going to wear blackface before your blackface becomes blackface?
I don't think you could have said blackface anymore. We should have put that part in a drinking game. Should put like a warning drinking game. Grab your drinks and take a shot every time he says blackface.
But so it's just, instead of actually pushing for ideas, and this is typical, kind of like conservative type, is just, and I think we brought this up before. It's always a pushing of, like, Liberal Party, like the quote unquote progressives are always going to push for more and more and more and more. So let's take a hypothetical situation. So something that's big well, I think that's very contentious with people is, I'm going to say it, abortion. So liberals will come from the side of us saying abortion should be up to including birth. And then the conservatives is going to say, hey, no. So that the conservative guy, the Conservative Party is already on the back foot playing the defensive. So the liberal is already on the attack. We propose this, and the liberals go, and the conservatives say, no, let's not do that. What? Really? I'm fucking right up my ass. Oh, okay. But so let's say the Liberal Party will say, I don't know how far this got cut out.
It was just your last thing where liberals, as soon as you started saying come in, and then yeah.
Did that come through? Okay, good. But so let's say So the liberals say abortion should be up to including birth. So the conservatives are already on the defensive, and the liberals are right up against the conservative. Well, so the conservatives could say, well, you know what? Let's we don't agree on that, but let's push back a little bit. So, and this was always a tactic that Trump would always say, is called the big ask. You over demand from where you actually want to be, from where you actually want to be. So if liberals say, well, you know what, we actually look at, maybe something up to, maybe 6 months is what they're looking for. But they'll say, hey, we want up to 9 months. And then the conservatives come back with, well, you know what, I think that's a little too far. What if we push it back 3 months to 6 months? Liberals go, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Well, we're never going to say that. We'll say, you know what, we thought about it. You know what, I think that's a fair compromise. The big ask is you over ask and then you can pull back. It's the basics of bartering. You either lowball an offer so that you can work up to, or you highball an offer so that you can work back to where you actually want to.
Exactly what I did with our vehicles when we sold them. You ask for way more, knowing that you're going to have some wiggle room to come down. And then even when you do come down, you're still ahead.
Yeah, so it gives the idea of, oh, hey, look, let's say you sell a vehicle for $4,000 and you say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Well, the vehicle is actually worth like $2,500. Well, even if someone says, you know what, how about $3,000? Okay, yeah, $3,000. You made $500. So, and this is always the liberals and the quote unquote progressive. I say quote unquote because I think it's actually quite regressive instead of actually being progressive. I think our universal healthcare is a broken mess. COVID exposed that more than anything. What?
I just yawned. I don't know why you spelled shit. What? Nothing? I just yawned.
But it's not like the conservatives are really pushing for anything. They can't be saying, hey, you know what, we're going to repeal this law, we're going to repeal this, we're going to have, whatever our Charter of Rights is. If anything, even so much as sniffs at our Constitution, no, we're going to pull it. That puts the liberals on a defensive because they'll have to say, no, 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 no. So you make the big ask. We are going to abolish every liberal decided program that is either affecting jobs, income, anything that is not directly in line with our Charter of Rights. And then the liberals have to go, whoa, what are you doing? What are you do? Like you're going to tear up the whole legal system here. What? We can't do that. And then the conservatives go, well, okay, then what do you propose with these ideas in mind? Right? Yeah. But so, this SNC thing, like they didn't push on that Trudeau cannot be trusted. There was a thing with the Aga Khan, giving money to, what I was able to find seemed like a kind of a terrorist organization, or at least a terrorist sympathizing organization. I might be wrong, but that was the information that I was able to find. There was the, there's the SNC scandal and then the We Charity scandal. So these are all things that literally the government is doing that people complain about. Government corruption. Oh, these are unaccounted officials that are doing this type of stuff. So then why are we embracing this? I think SNC, if this is type the tactics, I can give you a little bit, maybe with the Gaddafi thing, but the more information that seems to come out with the Gaddafi thing, he might have been a dictator, but at least he kept the country from being a complete fucking shit show. Because that place is a failed country now. Because the U.S. ended up getting involved. Weird. It's like they got all this oil and stuff.
Let's go help them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're here to bring democracy with our guns. So.
Totally.
Yeah. Spreading democracy one bullet at a time. But so, and I'll give the criticism to the conservatives. They didn't push on anything. They didn't push on anything that actually spoke to their base. Liberals, they want more. They want government spending more and more. They want more social programs, more money put to it. Stop picking your nose. That's fucking gross.
I'm not picking my nose. I'm literally scratching the outside of my nose, you fuck, as if you would say that. You're such a shit. Ew.
But so I don't know. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I'm still a little miffed about it. Like, O'Toole just kind of whatever.
Sounds like a tool. But I know that was really reaching.
No, that wasn't at all. Oh, there's so much more low-hanging fruit. I must grab it. But so this is the type of stuff. What?
Just you doing that. It's low-hanging fruit. I don't know. It just replayed my head again. It made me giggle and almost spit my drink out.
So delicious.
I need more. Give me more fruit.
No, but so, this is the type of stuff, and I wish people actually paid attention to this. So just look into a little bit. Like, I just searched. I didn't use Google because fuck Google. Google's creepy. So, but I used DuckDuckGo or DuckDuckGo.
Duck.
So, it's like that Bill Burr skit.
What?
It's like a woman. She just keeps coming at you. Why did you like your parents, huh? Why didn't you come over today?
Yes.
But so I don't know. This is pretty much what I wanted to focus on. Like there's 3 different instances that were admissible, like proven in a court proceeding that this type of stuff actually went down. And if you want your government to be accountable to you, like for our election, it was something like 30-something% of people voted. A third of the country got to decide what literally, like I think at some point of an election should be considered null. If 30-something%.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me, okay, am I hearing this right? That in all of Canada, all of the Canadians, only 30% of Canadians actually voted this year?
Yeah. There's something like 30-something or low. Oh, God.
Okay, so I'm not normally one who votes, okay, and I voted this year for the first time ever, because, well, I am. What?
Purple wave.
I don't even know what that means.
Purple wave, PPC. Purple wave.
Oh, anyway, yes, I voted PPC because I wanted change. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of him doing what he's doing to Canada and making us a fucking joke, that I wanted something different. And I'm like, you know what? Because this is something important, and if I want change, I have to go and do it. I am really, really disappointed at the 70% of people in Canada who did not vote. I'm looking at y'all. You guys are the reason we still have this frickin' Trudeau in office. Not cool.
Like, if you actually look at the numbers, Liberals got 5.5 million. Conservatives got 5.7 million. The Bloc got 1.3 million. New Democrats got 3.06 million. Green Party, I don't know how they got 2 seats. Well, I'm pretty sure that political party is going to be defunct. So let's see. Then plus 5, 6. So out of 30, what does Canada have a population of? I think it's 38 million. 38 million. Out of that, 17 million voted. Half of that doubled is 34. So I think that number of about 41% So less than half of Canada actually voted in this election.
Clearly, that more than half of Canadians wanted Trudeau to stay in office. I mean, they really can't bitch or complain because clearly they did vote, and their vote was that they wanted Trudeau to stay. So, congrats.
Well, according to this, and I think the Conservative, they went after the Liberal vote. Sorry, this is a total segue, but I think we're more or less done with the SNC. It's just it's quite clear that this is a company that's totally fine with bribing elected officials in order to get what they want and defrauding people. But you know what? I don't know.
And our elected officials are completely okay with being bribed. Not like they have any morals or anything.
Well, if they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all.
True that.
But so, one thing I found really interesting, the Conservatives at 5.7 million votes. The PPC had 844,000 votes. For a 4-year-old party to have nearly 1 million votes, I think that vote share. So Conservatives were going after the Liberal vote, and everyone's saying that the PPC is splitting the vote on the Conservative. Well, the Conservative Party left the Conservative vote behind. Totally left the Conservative vote behind. So where's the PPC? Well, that's where they came in. There's some people that just blue no matter who. They'll always vote for it. There's Reds that are, what is it, red or be dead, or some stupid fucking allegory or anagram or whatever phrase, stupid thing. So I think it has to do with a lot of people they feel hopeless. I think that's really what it is. I think a lot of people just feel hopeless and they feel demoralized.
The thing is that, okay, I can understand the hopeless feeling or whatever. I can understand people being like, well, Trudeau's just going to win anyway, so what's the point? Okay. But the thing is if Canada decided to stand up and actually vote for something different, then it would have spoke for itself. They have a whole bunch of seats and shit like that because of Ontario, and I still don't even fully understand that. This should just be a voting thing. There shouldn't be a fucking seat thing. I don't know. Our voting thing needs whatever. It needs some frickin' work. We need to figure this shit out and do different voting because it just doesn't make sense. But I feel like if Canada would have just stood up and voted something different, whether it was the blue or the PPC or just something different.
See, but I think that speaks to a different part, because Aaron O'Toole, he flip-flopped way too much. He said he was going to repeal the gun grab that Justin Trudeau implemented during the first thing of COVID. That he was going to change the carbon capture or whatever carbon fucking taxes that a lot of people weren't in support of. He initially wasn't going to do that. He was going to look at other policies, but then he'd flopped on them. So, like I said, people that are already voting Liberal aren't going to vote Conservative. They're not. Why would you? You're voting for the beta version. Like I said, beta version of Justin Trudeau. That's all you're voting for.
Vote something different. Vote PPC. Fuck. Don't you want to change? Do you really think Trudeau is doing that good of a job? Do you really appreciate all the hard work he's done for changing our national anthem and allowing 50 million genders and all this other stupid bullshit that he's wasting his time on instead of things that actually matter? Really? You wasted all this money and time to get a fucking word in our national anthem changed. It's our national anthem. Why are people making a big deal about a national anthem that was literally written a bajillion years ago?
Not really. It was written in like the 1980s.
Whatever. It was a bajillion years. Oh my God. I'm saying I'm a bajillion years old right now. Whatever. It was a long time ago. Like, why are we changing it? Like, it's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. Do something that matters.
Hello, puppy. Hello, Reese. Oh, but so I think, like I said, I think a lot of people were like, I'll say, like, for anyone that comes from like Mexico or, you know, like a lot of like South American countries tend to be more conservative. They're actually more conservative than, you know, the immigration policy that Justin Trudeau is trying to bank on. So it's almost like trying to buy votes. Like our neighbors, fantastic fucking people. I'd be very surprised if they were actually like liberals. I would be very surprised.
I'm not sure. I didn't. It's not something you normally ask. I don't know. People are so weird about that. Like, I've even, like, when I voted, like, I'll ask someone, I'm like, oh, who'd you vote for? I'm not telling. Relax. Like, I don't know. Everyone's so weird about it because everyone has to have a war with each other about everything. So, okay, well, oh God, you voted conservative. Oh, I voted liberal. Oh, we must hate each other. Now we're going to have an argument. Like, instead of just being like, okay, cool. So what made you vote this color? You know, like, instead of seeing like, oh, okay, so these are the kind of things you liked. Okay, I can understand that. Well, and this is why I voted this. Like, whatever happened to healthy conversations? Everybody has to attack everybody about everything. And I will just say, like, our neighbors, like, shout out to them. They are fantastic people. If we ever move, I want to take them with us. I want to keep them. I don't think I've ever had a neighbor so amazing before.
Yeah. But so, like, and that's the thing. It's just having that conversation. And I think a lot of people, like I said, I have no problem saying, I am a card-carrying conservative member. I have a card saying, hey, you donated to us a fuck ton of money. Not really a fuck ton of money. You donated money to us. Here's a card saying, you know, like, you get, you know, you can get invites to like certain public speaking events or whatever. And I didn't vote for them. But mind you, the liberals weren't speaking to me. Conservatives weren't. PPC was. I voted. You know what? Sorry. Hey, you know what? Conservatives. You know, you can blame me for being one of the almost over 750,000 people that did not vote for you. Chalk me up as one of them because you weren't speaking to me at all. It was just more tax, more, you know, the liberal agenda. And I don't mean agenda and like, oh, they're trying to, you know, turn us all into, I don't know, UBI lovers and the New World Order. Nothing like that. It was just the agenda that they're trying to push is universal income, you know, more taxes, abolishing any fossil fuels. And it almost seemed like in spite of the fact that, well, we have a lot of oil in Canada. We have a lot of natural resources in the territories. So many natural resources. We are so lucky to be as prosperous and as wealthy as in natural resources that Canada is. And everyone is just saying, no, we don't want that here. No, we don't want to be self-sufficient. Why are we self-sufficient? You know, but we'll accept, you know, blood oil and blood minerals from other countries that are corrupt to the core, where bribery is not only encouraged, it's mandatory in order to get anything done there. Are you listening to me? Stop touching my frickin' tube. My sausage tube.
I am listening to you, but I'm also petting our puppy.
You know, but so instead of using the resources like, Northwest Territories, Yukon, Nunavut, nobody lives there. No one lives there.
Hey, Mo.
No one lives there. I think actually, statistically, you could probably travel for like a year and not find another soul.
Mo is literally the only person that lives in the Yukon, so shout out Mo.
Yeah. But we are so naturally wealthy. But they'll take it was like there was a debate a couple years ago in for people that don't know, Tuxedo is like it is still kind of a high income neighborhood. There's a lot of money in the Tuxedo area, and so the discussion was of putting low income housing in the area. And what did they all say?
Oh hell no!
Not in my backyard. Do it somewhere else. Do it somewhere else. Literally, it's the wealthy is saying, hey, we could solve this problem, and we're happy that you're solving the problem, just not here. That is like the same thing we are doing with Canada. So we'll accept, lithium from, hey, guess what Afghanistan has a lot of?
Just because you just said it, I'm going to guess lithium?
Lots of it. Millions and bajillions of dollars worth of lithium there. After the U.S. left Afghanistan, all the embassies and everything else closed. Take a guess. Shot in the dark. No, fuck you. Take a guess. Take a guess of which country's embassy stayed open.
Afghanistan.
No.
I know.
Well, yeah. So, after the U.S. withdrawn, after the U.S. had withdrawn all its troops and everything else, and Canada and Europe, all their troops had left, China's embassy was the only one that stayed open. Is no one paying attention to this? Like, we're sorry, to put us against them, we are losing this economic war.
Oh, against China big time.
So, and everyone needs a new cell phone. You don't think of the Foxconn building with the suicide nets on the outside, the slave labor in China, in Bangladesh, in certain countries. People don't think about that. Those precious minerals that are used to power your smartphone. Just think of the slave labor that was used in order to build that.
Literally, there's a place that has suicide nets on the outside of it.
Look it up. Foxconn building. Look, yeah, I would say probably search that. Foxconn suicide nets, because people were jumping off the buildings so much. They make, I believe it's Apple. They make Apple phones. She's looking it up. But so anyways, while you're looking that up, so everyone wants all this stuff. They want cheap, and then say, oh, but I'm helping the environment. Well, in Canada, we have regulatory boards. We have these types of things that are supposed to, keep this stuff in check. My God, dog. So this is the type of stuff, like everyone wants the newest and cheapest and whatever. Think of, did you find it?
Yeah, no, I'm reading this here. A Reuters journalist was once dragged out of the car and beaten for taking photos from the outside of factory walls.
Mm-hmm. So this is what we're losing the economic war for. I see a lot of people talking about, like, the universal basic income and all this stuff, and like this communist or utopian idea. I would understand that if we all shared the same ideology, but unfortunately we don't. We have different morals. What? Did you find it?
Sorry, it says here Foxconn is the single largest employer in mainland China. There are 1.3 million people on its payroll. Just in China.
That's actually not that much.
A lot of people.
But this is the thing that's crazy. You have more freedoms in China than you do in North America. They'll steal intellectual properties. You can run a business as long as you give your cut to the government. You can basically do whatever you want. So, but anyways, the amount of wealth that we have in the ground in Canada, the amount of technology, we could have those types of things, but people don't want to, they think not in my backyard. Well, I don't want to tear up a place that, like, Northwest Territories, the territories in Canada. I'm sure they would love a nice economic boom of development, of infrastructure, of resource, extraction. I'm sure they would love that. But no, it's a bunch of people that say, well, I might want to go there one day, so I don't want to destroy it. I don't want to ruin it. Well, I'm sorry, you're never going. When are you going to go to fucking the Yukon? When are you going to go? Why are you licking my fingers, weirdo?
They taste delicious. He's talking to the dog. I'm just kidding.
Catching my sausage fingers. But so, I don't know. Is anything you want to say?
I'm just really fascinated at the grossness of this Foxconn right now.
Oh, and that's the thing. We could be actually taking care of, have the standards here where we don't employ slave labor, or we have child laborers. But it's like we're okay that we don't see it, therefore it's not a problem. Well, I'm sorry, to any communist country, the people are just a means to an end. That's why, like, I am so steadfast in, the freedoms, liberties, and you know what? To be honest, after this election, I've seriously considered leaving Canada. I've seriously considered it. Because if Canada is more for the, the lockdowns and all this craziness, I'm just saying craziness. Whatever you actually think of whether about the virus, but the fact that people are so willing just to, the division, the fighting, and everything, I just, what? It's not for me. It's not for me.
So in this, I know we're totally going back and forth with this conversation here. Fine. So in 2012, 150 workers gathered on top of the rooftop and threatened to jump. They were promised improvements and were talked down by management. They'd essentially wielded the threat of killing themselves as a bargaining tool. Like, that's how bad it is there. Oh my God. Like, they were working 12-hour days. They were literally getting in shit if they were going too slow. One guy was saying he literally has 1,700 iPhones that pass through his hand every day. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think this is like when I see this type of stuff, I look at it as though this is like the fall of North America. The shining beacon on the hill, that light's getting pretty fucking dim. Because we're so fixed on just getting the latest and greatest and the newest technology at whenever. Like, I have a VR headset. I use it once in a while. And it is a engineering and a technological, some people couldn't even imagine experiencing another world in it. People couldn't even imagine it. But, this is the type of stuff. And you know what? I'll say I'm guilty of it too. Excuse me. If I had an alternative, I would. I really would. But you can't. Everything is made in China. I guess some people are starting to move out of there into India, Bangladesh, Taiwan, in Vietnam. But sorry, China has everyone is moving to China.
I'm sorry, but this really bothers me. Okay, there are so many things in life that people just don't even know the other side of it. And I'm pretty sure if people knew the other side of it, I don't know. Probably all be sitting in our houses, rocking back and forth, crying. But to think about it, like you're your fancy new phone that you have in your hand, that there are literally people that are standing on top of a rooftop threatening to jump off because their work environment is just that horrific, that they're literally using their lives as a bargaining tool to try to get more money or less hours or, just better conditions in general. And you don't even think about things like that. You sit on your phone all day long and you do your social media and you talk to your friends and do your work and whatever the fuck else you're doing with your damn phone, but play your games. Like you don't even realize the lives of the people who are making these things. The conditions that they're in. You don't think about that with your clothing, all the child labor, the slave labor, stuff like that people have. You don't think about it with the foods you eat, the animal plants that they have, the torture that a lot of these animals go through. You don't diamonds that everybody is so obsessed with. The fact that so many people die for diamonds. And it's just it really bothers me. Like oil, there's so many things out there that people are literally losing their lives over, and people are just oblivious to it. They're just, okay, well, I'm just going to go on my phone. I'm going to play my game, whatever, fuck. They don't even know. They don't even know. I didn't even know. I mean, there's a lot that I do know, but this I didn't know. This is disgusting. This is gross.
That's only one aspect. Like everyone says, oh, De Beers and blood diamonds. People don't understand. Diamonds are dirt fucking cheap. No joke. Diamonds are cheap. They're literally worth nothing. It is literally market manipulation with the whole blood diamonds and everything. People will die to get that money. All right, you ready to get your mind blown even more?
Well, not even die to get that money. They'll kill to get the money. The people who are dying are getting killed for it. They're not purposely trying to die for it. They're literally being worked to death, and they're being killed because they find diamonds. You ever see that movie, Blood Diamond? I tell you, that movie literally changed my outlook so much. And after I saw that movie, I was like, I don't want a real diamond ever. I'm done.
Yeah, which I don't know. We have synthetic diamonds. Yours is synthetic.
You talk about it's real. It's totally real. It's huge. Yes, it's synthetic. I refuse to have a real diamond. Oh, you lucked out, didn't you? You got the wife that didn't want the real diamond. You lucky guy.
Exactly. There's places in Africa where they disassemble ships, or everyone brings their broken electronics to these places in Africa, and they are toxic. To any first world country would be considered a biological disaster.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
If the conditions that are in these in some African nations, if that was here, it would be an environmental disaster, a humanitarian disaster, an economic disaster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But here, now you know what? Whatever. Because you take your phone. Oh, it's starting to get a little slow. Chuck it out. Get a new one. You don't think of, like you said, the people that are literally bargaining with their lives, the children that are being slaved to mine that lithium out of the ground, slave labor. If you don't want to support Afghanistan and the genocide that is now going to become Afghanistan, oh, you need that new phone. You need that technology. Everything that has a microchip. You need those Tesla cars. Well, lithium is how they power their batteries.
See, and that's what I think a lot of people don't really realize, is that when you think of slaves, you think of back in pretty sure Canada had them. Say Canada, the United States, whatever. When you had Black people as slaves. But the thing is that okay, they abolished slavery in Canada and the U.S. Thankfully, that's fantastic. But the sad thing is, slavery still goes on to this day in other countries around the world. And
it's live and well. It's live and well. If people think that slavery, is the philosophical idea of a company is trading your time for money and you're indentured servitude. Oh, fuck. That's like that's such a white man fucking problem. Like that is such a first world country problem. Not even a white man problem. Sorry to all the white guys out there. I'm a minority, so I can say that. But that is such a first world idea. Well, I'm trading my time for my money, and because I go into debt, it's this whole system is designed for me to go into debt. Yeah, it is. But you're deciding to do it. Like, I decided to go into debt. So here's a little money lesson from Uncle Tyler. Okay, I'm leaning back in my chair, so you know it's serious.
Your cigar.
I know. I wish I had my cigars. I should buy some more. But anything that costs you money and does not make you money is considered a liability. So when people say, all right, so this is a little bit of like Tyler After Dark or something. I don't know. This is just total segue. But when people say your house is your biggest asset, they're wrong. They are wrong. 100% wrong. Only time the house, so the house that you buy is a liability. It is an asset for the bank. That's what a house is. So as postmodern, you'll never own anything idea of, well, having a house is the greatest freedom you can have. Nope. It's 35 years of payment after payment after payment. A mortgage literally translates to a contract until death. That's what a mortgage stands for. Until death. Are you looking that up? You don't believe me. You fuck. That's what in French. Remember French translation? Mortgage. In French. Translates to till death. Right? mortgage. AGE. But so anyways, this is a problem that we have in North America that, people think of, going to work, providing, our whole economy relies on people producing and working. But we've exported the only thing that gives our money value, which is what we can produce. What does mortgage mean?
Death pledge.
There you go.
That's fucked up.
That's
fucked up. And it's not, when I'm looking at this stuff, it's not like I'm like, you're so full of shit, I need to see this. It's more of like as if I need to see this. Like, fuck, really? Like, so, yeah. And yeah, that's really gross.
Mm-hmm. So when you have a mortgage for 35 years, let's say you're 30 years old and you purchase a house, you're 65 by the time that house is finished. Not saying your life is over, but you're retired at 65. Literally, for the last couple years of your life. Oh, God, Hemi. Go from one bed to the other. Sorry, we have one dog that loves to sleep with our kids, and he will whine and whine until he gets there. Yeah. Yeah, and then when we go to bed, he he wants out of that room. But so anyways, I think we've kind of gone on long enough. Is there anything you want to say, or?
I don't even know. I'm so disgusted with everything right now. I'm so disappointed in Canada for not voting. And I mean, I was one of those people too that didn't really vote. And then I was just like, you know what? I have no room to fucking complain and bitch about it because I didn't do anything. I let it happen, which is why I decided to actually vote this year. But I don't know.
Welcome.
Thank you. That kind of made me angry. This whole Foxconn thing, that just makes me so sad. Like just the whole realization just of all these people that are literally losing their lives for things that we have, like freaking diamonds and phones and oil and lithium, and just it's just gross. I don't know.
And cobalt, and a lot of these precious minerals. So you could literally, we could look at my desk. We have a computer, the tower, those microchips in there. Mind you, a lot of them are made in Taiwan, but that those raw minerals got to be mined out of the earth somewhere.
Where?
Taiwan.
That.
Oh, sorry, China. I mean, a place that you. I mean, the place that you think doesn't exist. Remember John Cena and his shitty Mandarin to apologize? You didn't? Did you see that?
No.
John Cena said that. Stop clicking the fucking button, you fuck. So John Cena apologized to China because the movie, was it Fast 9 or some shit, or some movie he was fucking shitty movie he was starring in?
Hey. If it was one of the Fast and the Furious franchise movies, it was not a shitty movie, but you may continue now.
The only good one was Fast 1.
Nay. Them all.
Fuck you. But so, he was saying that Taiwan, that this movie was premiering in the country of Taiwan. And China said, hey, fuckface, Taiwan doesn't exist according to us. So you better apologize, otherwise you're going to lose a lot of money. So John Cena, fucking sellout. Yeah, I heard that.
Right? I just rolled my eyes so hard I think fucking China heard.
Well, as long as it wasn't in Taiwanese. But so, no, it's like you could look at, the tower, our mouse, the keyboards, the monitors, it's very easy to think that, well, and I'll say like the VR headset, we have, our two phones are sitting right next to us. The amount of technology that's literally within our reach. And I've said before, I've tried to find local alternatives, manufacturing companies inside Canada. Can't find it. Please, if there is a company that develops this stuff that isn't made with slave labor, please forward it to me. I tried to buy a canvas duffel bag. Couldn't find one in Canada. I tried. I would find the company that made it, and I would search where they based it. Shanghai, Shenzhen, and that province, like it was all in China. I could not find a local, even in North America, that manufactures a canvas bag.
Just something you think is just so simple. Like, I don't know, like almost any single thing that you look at. And I'm pretty sure anybody listening is just like, yeah, we noticed that. But literally everything you look at is made in China. It's made in China. It's made in China. I mean, like...
Our vapes. Fuck, I didn't even think of that. Our vapes. All the microchips and everything in there. This one, Geek Vape, is made in China. And then the tank, the atomizer, made in China. It is actually a Chinese company. Or the Geek Vape is a Chinese company. So, yeah. All right. Anything else? Let's get the fuck out of here.
No, this podcast just depressed me. Oh my God. I haven't been recording this entire time.
Are you serious?
Do you still love me?
Are you serious?
No. No, I'm not serious.
I was gonna fucking murder you.
I'm trying so hard. My face don't lie. The words are trying, but the face don't lie. I couldn't stop smiling. But mind you, I do have a nervous tic where I laugh when I'm really nervous. So, I mean, had I not actually been recording, I probably would have been laughing. And then I would have ran away crying. I'm so sorry, sir. No, that's it. So, thank you everybody for listening to our depressing podcast. No, just kidding. Remember, like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave comments, all the funky jazz. Find us everywhere because we're stalking you. And if this taught you anything, vote next time and try and buy local. You know, support the local people. Forget trying to support freaking China and all that shit. Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you, everyone. And mute yourself.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
I guess we will be back in a couple days. And yeah. All right. God loves you. No, I should stop saying that because I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's kind of the ironic thing from the atheist. God loves you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye.